And don't forget to order your copy of Football Game Plan's latest book, Stiff Arming Football Myths, an excellent book that you can find on our website at footballgameplan.com/books, available in both PDF as well as paperback form.
Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our NFL Week 2 preview between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Indianapolis Colts. Now let's look at some coaching points for both teams in this matchup, starting with Philadelphia.
And for the Eagles in this ballgame, quarterback Nick Foles has to see the field a lot better. He left many big play opportunities on the field last week versus Jacksonville. He has to be a better quarterback in terms of seeing the field. Otherwise, they could struggle versus Indianapolis. Now look at the interior offensive line. They're going to be banged up versus Indianapolis, but they have to make sure they keep that interior defense at bay, because interior pressure could derail any offense, more in particular the Chip Kelly offense. And you want to force Andrew Luck into quick decisions. That way you can rally up, make a tackle, and get off the field. Don't allow him to extend the play with his legs and buy time back there in the pocket. Even if you have to send an extra guy, force him into a quick decision. And for the Colts in this ballgame, I like what they have offensively in the passing game. And I think they can actually match the tempo of the Philadelphia Eagles by going with their 2-minute offense. They are even better when they operate out of the shotgun or operate in their 2-minute offense. I would try to match the tempo offensively versus the Eagles, which could lead them to success. Now, and I would also look at T.Y. Hilton in the running game. They have to find creative ways to jumpstart that ground game, whether it be on jet sweeps or end rounds. Find ways to utilize T.Y. Hilton's ability as a returner in the running game. And I will go with more of a cover 2 look or even cover 4 versus this Eagles offense. You want to keep everything in front of you, beat up those wide receivers at the line of scrimmage, and force Nick Foles to hold the football just a tad bit too long, so that way you can get that pressure and get him on the ground. He tends to hold the football a little bit too long and doesn't see the pressure quickly, and you would also force him to be consistently accurate throughout the course of a ball game, having to make stick throws and bucket throws. So I think I would go with more of a cover 2 look or a tight cover 4 versus this offense of Chip Kelly.
Versus the Indianapolis Colts, the Eagles have to do a better job of converting on third downs. They have to do a better job in the first half. Otherwise, they're going to find themselves getting beat like they almost did versus Jacksonville if you were to go by the first half. But now versus Indy, I'm going to show you one concept they can run that puts them in great position to make plays in the passing game and helps neutralize the blitz. And the biggest thing about neutralizing the blitz is about giving the defense more eligible receivers that they have to worry about instead of holding a guy back in the backfield to pick up a blitz. So let's say if this guy is blitzing constantly all day long, the one thing you can do to neutralize a blitz is put this running back in motion, sending him through the line of scrimmage and on the crosser. So that way he's not going to blitz. He's going to have to make a choice and follow this guy, which then gives you the advantage because you'll take LaShawn McCoy over any linebacker running away from cover. So that's one way. Now we're going to take the guy, which could be the tight end, at the top. He's running the crosser. So now you have dual crossers. Somebody's going to get caught in a wash, and that way you can pick and choose which one you want to throw the football to. Now when we have the guy in the cluster set, his job is to stem up toward the nickelback, push up toward the safety, and run the dig. So now you have layered routes. 1, 2, 3. Backside, we're sending the streak, trying to hold that free safety. And what we're going to do with the receiver on the other side, we're going to run a split. He's going to try to split the safety and the corner, putting this safety in a bind. So again, spacing dictates a lot of things. The 3-layered route concept puts the defense in a bind, those second-level defenders, and puts a lot of strain on the coverage of the safety. So that's one way the Philadelphia Eagles can play effective third down offense and widen out that defense of Indianapolis, so that way they can have some success throwing the football.
Now, here are some in-game adjustments you want to watch for in this ballgame for when the Colts have the football. How they set the edge defensively will be key. You want to force the Eagles downhill, make this a downhill game and not a horizontal game, so they have to set the edge defensively if they want to have some success. And creativity in the running game will be key. Like I said before, do they utilize T.Y. Hilton? Maybe Andrew Luck's legs are involved in the running game, but they have to find ways to run the football versus the Eagles defense. And delayed pressure versus Nick Foles could end up putting him on the ground more often than usual in this ball game because, again, he's a guy that tends to hold the football a little bit too long. The X factor in this ball game for Philadelphia will be their offensive line. Their banged up offensive line, dealing with injuries, suspensions. They have to play better, and they can't allow this to be the day the Colts pass rush gets going. They have to do a better job of protecting Nick Foles despite all of the injuries they have up front. And the running game is an obvious X factor for Indianapolis. This is the one thing that's holding this football team back. If they can get any type of consistency or continuity in the running game, some semblance of success, I think the Colts offense will be dangerous to stop. They have to find ways to get the ground game going, whether that's with Trent Richardson or any creative way, but they have to get that going this week versus Philadelphia if they want to win the game. I like the Eagles in this ball game. I believe what you'll see from Philadelphia this week versus the Colts is more off-tackle running. That means more LaShawn McCoy, more Darren Sproles attacking the outside of that Colts defense. And on the defensive side, seeing that the Colts don't have a consistent running game, I believe they'll be more aggressive in their approach. They'll play the run on the way to the quarterback and find ways to get Andrew Luck on the ground. So I think that in turn, the front end helps out the back end, and the secondary will look a lot better, although they'll have their hands full versus a very talented Colts receiving core. But I like the Eagles in this ball game to play a complete game and come away victorious.
What's up, fantasy football fans? I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook for all of your starts, sits, fantasy football notes, news, and tidbits. Tune into our podcast, Football Game Plan Starting Lineup, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on our Football Game Plan Radio Network, which is located at blogtalkradio.com/footballgameplan.
And don't forget to check out Football Game Plan's NFL Wraparound live every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time at blogtalkradio.com/footballgameplan, where we give you all of our late-minute and last-minute notes, news, and tidbits and thoughts on each and every game on the NFL schedule. And I also want to give a huge shout-out to Eagle fan forums and Colt fan forums for always showing Football Game Plan support.